everyone, this is Iron Angel. It has been a while, but I had gotten sick and have been on hiatus for a while, but I'm back. So today we're going to be talking about what are yokai and Yokai Watch, because basically when I've been rewatching the anime and read the manga and saw the gameplays, and I played Yokai Watch Ripple Wobble. I really miss that game. I hope they bring it back. Yokai Watch Puny is still ongoing. Hopefully, if they want to bring it back, they could just use that name to bring it back, because I really like to see that. But anyway, it comes to mind, I've been going on fandoms and going into rewatching the videos. I have been noticing that there are a lot of yokai and new ones that are based on Japanese mythology, but some of the new ones are actually not based on the myths. For example, in the beginning of the series, Whisper explains how a monk sealed him and the rest of the yokai into these gray balls into the Crankakai that had. Sorry, that was my sister. You gotta get a new frog. But anyway. So basically, it's kind of like this whole. Sorry. Let me think. Okay, I got it. Whew. So basically, the yokai that are seen by people, well, people used to see them before the modern era. Sorry you had to hear that. But anyway, so basically, like I was saying, a monk has sealed them because he believes, well, not only him, but to me, I believe some humans believe that yokai were evil. Like in Japanese mythology, yokai could be friendly, dangerous, evil, or annoying. However, when the monk seals him for so many years, Nate finds him, and somehow Whisper gives him the Yokai Watch, because the Yokai Watch was basically made by Nate's grandfather, which he didn't know about yokai because he never heard of it until he met Whisper. And also, these kind of yokai are based on, the classic yokai are based on Japanese yokai. That are based on Japanese, that are actually known in Japanese mythology. Hold on. Wait, here we go. Hold on. Basically, very little is known when yokai first came into existence, but several of them have been around for centuries during back to the Shogun period and period. EDO period. One example is Whisper. It's the name of Whisper in the Shogun era. A yokai watch served as a partner towards Shogun. It's the name of the samurai that Whisper was friends before the present day. During that time. So basically, it's really unknown where they came from, but if you read in the beginning of Japanese mythology, these yokai actually came to existence by two primordial gods named Izanami and... Wait, hold on. Basically, these two, gods, they are primordials, which are the creator gods of Japan, their names Izanagi and Izanami. Izanagi will be known as the father of his three noble children, who will be the sun goddess, the moon god, and the storm and sea god. And Izanami will be the mother of demons and the gods of death in the underworld. Well, most likely the gods of death. Basically, these yokai came from these two gods when they created the land. Well, when they created the earth. That's what in Japanese mythology they believed what happened. So basically, humans didn't exist back then until after they were created by Izanagi. It was even said in the creations of these yokai in Yokai Watch that it could be like an animal object or someone that experienced death. Like Nate, and Katie, for example, experienced death and became yokai. You know, that happened in the second movie in the games. Well, however, in Japanese mythology, in the myths, like in order for someone to become a yokai, they had to like either die or even be sent away by a yokai, like the Tenaku. Like I think of what was it? Sorry about that. Hey Jackson. Okay. Hey. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. He's a good boy. So basically in Japanese myth, like if someone dies or even like becomes something or be sent away by a spirit, they will eventually become yokai or ghosts or oni or demons or because basically yokai are actually spirits, demons, ogres, I think it was trolls, like not trolls, but anyway, phantasms, ghosts, and spirits. I already said spirits. Like anything you can imagine. Usually see them, but they usually actually see them as human. Like if you could like, hold on, if you could see here, like if you could see Koma-san talking to a human, the reflection makes him a human, while the human actually believes he was talking to a human without noticing he was actually a yokai. Basically, humans cannot like tell they are yokai. Basically, they believe they were myths. Like Nate, for example. Like when Eddie finally mentions about yokai, Nate didn't have memories because of the villains who erased his memories in the watch. Made him look like one of those humans who didn't believe in yokai until he actually met Haruya as a big one, not the small one, who hits him like I think he like breathes out smoke to like make Nate remember who he is in his yokai friends. And but that happened in the movie, but not in the games. Like in the games, however, Nate remembers everything after he and Whisper are reunited. And they end up meeting Giovanni also being reunited, with the watch glowing and revealing their memories back. But anyway, humans most likely don't believe in yokai, while some do. Like, if you go playing in the games, there are some humans that still believe in the supernatural in the yokai world. But some humans believe they were crazy. Some humans could actually see yokai. Like, for example, Nate's grandmother could see yokai because she has the glass that allows her to see through their invisibility. While for hold on. And as for the priest, like the priest, because let me stop her. Sorry, I got a little too fast. The priest actually could see yokai, like he knows because it's also connected to like one of those monk priests that knows the existence of demons and yokai. Sorry, that was sexy on me. It's okay, buddy. It's okay. No, like in some scenes in the anime, there has been times that Nate's friends actually saw yokai, including some of the humans. Like, for example, Nate's Bear and Eddie saw the classic yokai scaring them, which caused them to be scared and run away. While in the other scene in the yokai festival, like the classic yokai revealed their scary faces, which caused humans to run away and scared. But none of them even questioned if they were real or not. Like, come on, like you saw it with your own eyes. Why can't you just report this? Like I know many people were dressed as yokai, including Nate, who's dressed as Jubanya, including like the classic yokai are my favorite type of yokai, including the others. And I also like the legendary yokai because apparently these legendary yokai are actually yokai from the past during the Shonen era, or sometimes including in history. But none of their backstories could be revealed because there's lots of them. So, but anyway, I'm not going to include white yokai or yo criminals because basically they're just like the yokai, but they're like the villains. However, the this is what hold on. if you could see the like over here like the Merrick yokai. I'm sorry, that was Jack. If you could see the like Mario yokai, I just gotta call them American yokai. Like they are yokai that hail from BBQ that can be found in. So I just gotta call it a town. And other places in Springdale, their yokai medals can only be installed into the Yokai Watch Model U and Yokai Watch Model Dream in order for them to be summoned. That happens in the Yokai Watch 3. Apparently apparently some yokai actually like started to like spread not only in Japan but also started to travel around the world and becoming yokai in their countries. Like for example, the American yokai are actually just like the yokai in Springdale, but they actually resemble American culture, including the Native Americans. Even some that includes like sports, food, including like culture and history. Like some of the yokai are based on actual history, including the legendary American yokai, actually based on, like one of them is actually a samurai with a star, including some actually a silver only. I forgot his name, but you know what I mean. Some of these American yokai came from Japan, while some actually wanted to stay in America. Like it's interesting how to see like. It's like with Miraculous, including other anime series that takes place in different countries, like when My Hero Academia announcing other heroes around the world, including America, not just Japan. Also, it's not only like America; it could also be like Buddhism yokai. Like here we go, like DEV. Oh, what? Hold on. Here we go. It's right here. DV. A yokai are a select group of power yokai that are introducing Yokai Watch 3 following the 2.2.0 update and the release of SUKIYAKI. Their located name is a nod to the DEVAS in Buddhism, lower level gods than Buddha. They are basically like the Hindu gods in Hindu mythology that are actually based on like yokai could also like I said the yokai has some of the yokai left Japan and went to live in other countries like in America. They also went to or they could actually stay or actually been there in Hindu like what I'm trying to say is like these yokai either came from Japan and live in India, or they were just like they existed there like with the Hindu gods. Because basically the Hindu gods are actually like thousands of, I think it was 3,300 gods. Like these gods are actually like said to be like powerful, including like with Shiva with his spear in his third eye. And Ganesh, who is known as the Hindu elven god of new beginnings, who is the son of Shiva, who is known to be like to start the new beginning. Those are gotta be the few gods that are going him. But there's also like the monkey god, like he came before Sun Wukong in Chinese mythology, so I forgot his name, so I just gotta leave it with that. But what I believe that these yokai are actually probably lived in India, while some came from Japan to live in India and became the gods that are worshipped by humans. It could make sense that humans actually see yokai in India, but they believe they're actually gods instead of yokai. Because basically we don't see much of them, but we only see them in the third game, but we also see them in the anime, but we don't actually see the other countries. Like most likely the anime takes place in Japan and they actually go there. However, it could have been interesting for them to actually explore America, including explore India. Like I know what India is. I saw what happens. Like India is a good place, but also like don't eat the street food. Just eat vegetables and fruits. I'm not. I show respect to everyone, including all the countries. So don't go roaring at me about being, you know. But anyway, let's get back to the point. So there's also the crystal yokai that are basically like Jibanyo or other yokai are made out of crystals, with their skin covered in crystals and gems. While treasure yokai are a select group of powerful yokai that are based on civilians and hold on, it's right here. Are based on based on based on A and T-I-Q U-T-I I-T-Y. That was my sister calling. But anyway, that they are introducing Yokai Watch 3, but got more focus in Yokai Watch Blasters 2, which never came out in English dub, but it got English title released in Spanish in Mexico. But anyway, there has been like there's also the Goku Yokai, the Puma Yokai, the 7 Jewel Generals, the Shadow Side Yokai that are actually the Shadow Side Yokai are actually based on Japanese mythology, with their dark forms being shown in the future. Legendary Shadow Side Yokai, Sword Barrier Yokai, Celestial Yokai, God Side Yokai, Aliens, and Yokai Heroes. And also, I just gotta name some of them because there's a lot of them, so I just gotta call them. But basically, to my theories, like, we have seen some of the gods in Yokai Watch, like the 7 lucky gods that are based on the seven lucky god. Well, they're most likely the 7 god. Let me start over. They are basically the 7 lucky gods of fortune in Yokai Watch 3, but in Japanese mythology, they are known as the 7 lucky gods. They also appear in Ghost Reaper Makami, and that's all I gotta say. They also appear in the like a non-canon movie of Ranma, but they're both slightly different than the original myth. So basically, like, is someone like, why do like basically, like, the story of Yokai Watch has been interesting, but however, I wish they could explore more of the origins of how the world was created, how the gods, like there could have been like more of it. Like, there are like monsters, gods, yokai, spirits, anything else that you can imagine. Like, the series has been going well until that one game of Yokai Watch 3 didn't sell well, with killing Yokai Watch 4. It promised an English release, but it didn't go well. But it never happened. That's what I meant. However, there has been like a new interview with the Theory of Yokai Watch in level 5 that they are planning to make a sequel. Like, they did mention that they would like to make a sequel. Like, I think they're going to plan, like, probably because years ago, like 2 years ago, like, it was the 10th anniversary of Yokai Watch. And basically this year is the 13th anniversary, which means it will take like 2 years for the 15th anniversary, which means we could end up getting new information for Yokai Watch probably next year or this year, or probably until the year 2028, because 2028 will be the 15th anniversary for Yokai Watch. That will take like 2 years to happen, but hopefully we will get new information for Yokai Watch. Like, maybe not a new game or anime, but maybe a manga will do, because like most likely there are some anime and manga that have been like getting popular with Demon Slayer, their Infinity Castle, and next year will be part 2 of Demon Slayer Infinity Castle, because we haven't seen any of that for a while since last year. Hopefully, like, but anyway, if Yokai Watch does end up making a manga remake to follow the games and the anime, including adding some characters like I really like from the anime, including that scene with Blizzard Arena and the fire group. I just gotta call them fire group because I really like that group, including her because she's actually based on a snow yokai that can freeze people to death. Which, if you know what I mean, like they're most likely like each yokai gets more of the attention in the anime, while in the manga or the games. But to me, however, the manga should actually introduce these villains because some of these villains never show up in the anime, like McCracken or the Ghoul Father. Only Dead Time was the only villain to appear in the Yokai Watch anime movie. But hopefully soon enough, we will get information for Yokai Watch. But anyway, before I go, I still have to finish this video. Basically, back in the old days, the humans believed the existence of yokai, but however, after so many thousands of years had gone by, they have forgotten their history and believe yokai were to be myths, like how Saint Seiga says that the gods retreated and became myths. That's basically what happened in Yokai Watch because basically the gods were also involved. Like we don't see them, but we do. They are only mentioned. I think they're only mentioned in the games or anime because they do like play a significant role. Like they don't actually show up, but you could see like heavenly angels that look like Whisper and Jibryan and they going into the light. Like basically, like we could actually see them in the actual what I'm trying to say is like there have been like fan arts, including like some fan art that shows what the gods look like in Yokai Watch format, like the two gods of storms and thunder. I really like the designs because they actually look exactly like, including the dragon design, because it looks exactly what it looked like in the myth, including the other one. But however, they were ogres, but some say they were dragons. Also, even though there have been manga adaptations to other shows that are spin-offs to Yokai Watch, however, the series, however, what I'm trying to say is like King Emerald used to rule over. Sorry, that was my mother. But anyway, so basically, that King Emerald used to rule over the yokai world before McCracken took over after his passing. However, after you defeat McCracken and defeat him, Lord Amma, which is the son of King Amma, takes over the yokai world. The history of the Amma clan or the Amma tribe takes a way back in the Shadow Side, tells more of the story of how the Oni and the Amma clan are connected, but it could have been more showing and more. We could have seen more history if Nate was the only human who could see yokai. However, he and Haley, including Lucas from America, could see yokai. I got a little distracted, and also I've been like trying to like keep up, but anyway, let's just say that the whole history, including the mythology behind Yokai Watch, is actually kind of interesting. I hope they continue to make the Yokai Watch lore like the continuation with this mythology and history, so we can actually see how the world in that universe works, including how these yokai became known to humanity. So my theory is, but hold on. Wait, hold on. I have one more theory. Why can't humans and yokai coexist? Well, basically, like in the Yokai Watch 1 game, the first one, that like the yokai who helped us, like I forgot his name, like he has the dragon tails and stuff. But anyway, he explains like explains that Nate was the only human that accepted yokai for who they are, which could actually mean that there are some humans that didn't accept yokai for who they are because they believe they were evil, like with the monk who sealed the yokai away. However, there also could be like exorcists and demon slayers that believe yokai could be dangerous. Because in Japanese mythology, we can actually see like Shundoji's story, how the samurai cut off his head and how the evil axis of the only causes mischief, not mischief, but greed and death by kidnapping women and by eating and killing people. But basically, like Lord Emma decided he didn't want the yokai world to actually, or the yokai council didn't want humans to be reunited with yokai, but because they believed it would go back to their old ways of believing that yokai are dangerous or just make fun of them. Because that's why King Emma made the rule. However, to me, honestly, I hope we can actually see these humans and yokai come together, because I actually like to see how humans and yokai could react when they actually see each other. So that would be my theory. Hopefully we could get more information for Yokai Watch this year, before 2027 or 2028. So thank you guys for watching my video, and I'm glad to be back. And don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to ring the bell to get notified for new videos. And before I leave, I would like to give new information for Saint Seiya. Like, we're going to get an announcement for Saint Seiya in March, in this month, in the 12th month. We're going to get new information for Saint Seiya this month, in the 12th day. So that also includes the anniversary for Fairy Tail and other anime. So I hope you guys have a good day, and I'll see you all in the next video. This is Iron Angel.